It looks like Ursula von der Leyen is playing the victim card now after Erdogan completely embarrassed her and Michel, embarrassed the entire EU actually, when they paid Erdogan a visit in what has now been dubbed Sofagate. And this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy because they look like the European Union has called upon Mario Draghi, out of all the people to call out Erdogan, they picked Mario Draghi. Now, Mario Draghi is currently the Prime Minister of Italy, unelected Prime Minister of Italy. He was the former head of the ECB. He claimed, he made the statement actually, that he would save Europe and the euro at all costs, and he destroyed many a country in Europe during his tenure at the ECB. Cyprus, Greece, Spain, Italy, Ireland, Portugal. He put all those countries into massive debt. And the guy's just a terror. Mario Draghi is just a terror. And what else has Mario Draghi done? The guy's just awful. Absolutely awful. I used to work at Goldman Sachs, the vampire squid. So this guy's a Goldman Sachs guy. And he ended up getting the job at the ECB. He oversaw the European Union during a time when 5-6 countries, they were referred to as the pigs, had various issues with their finances, and Mario Draghi made sure to completely destroy those countries with austerity and all kinds of other terrible financial mechanisms. And he demolished those countries. And they're still in debt. All those countries are still in debt. I can tell you right now, Greece is in a debt of 350 billion that they're never getting out of. Ever. Greece is never, ever getting out of their debt. Cyprus had their banks closed down. Europe came in, closed down one of the banks, took all the money and ran. Literally, it was the bank robbery of a century. The fact that Cypriots still have a favorable feeling about the European Union blows my mind after that bank robbery. But nonetheless, anyway, that's neither here nor there. So they got Mario Draghi to rail against Erdogan and call Erdogan a dictator. Turkey is furious after Mario Draghi calls Erdogan a dictator. Now let's go back to the incident dubbed Sofagate. Here it is. So they place Ursula von der Leyen on the sofa. Keep in mind, Michel doesn't even offer to get her a seat or anything. If Michel and von der Leyen were trained diplomats, if they knew what they were doing, they would not have sat down to begin with. They would have told Erdogan and Cavusoglu, who's the Secretary of State, the Foreign Minister. They would have told them, look, this is not proper diplomatic protocol. We're going to go back to the hotel. Get back to us when you're ready to have this press conference, this discussion in front of the media. Or they would have just insisted, can you get another chair and let's put things right, something like that. Instead, they went along with it. She agreed. She agreed to sit on the sofa. Michel didn't offer her his seat. He didn't say anything either. He just sat there, kicked his legs back, and he was cool with it, which shows what a tool that guy is. These guys are not trained diplomats, these people at the EU. It just goes to show that the people that are running the EU, they have zero experience at their job. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And Erdogan knows that. And this was a setup. This was a setup. Turkey knew what it was doing. They knew that these guys that they're dealing with are a bunch of bozos. They're a bunch of clowns. And he set it up like that. He put one seat there. And I bet you the Turkish officials were kind of sitting there saying, I wonder who's going to sit in that one seat. I wonder who's going to take the bait. And Michel took the bait, and von der Leyen was stuck going, and they put her on the sofa. So Turkey knew what it was doing. It embarrassed them, and they're going to get money from the European Union. and they're going to get money from the EU. So not only did they embarrass the two top officials at the European Union, not only did they expose the fact that these top officials have no idea how diplomacy works, are completely inexperienced, are complete suckers, are completely weak, but they're going to get money from Europe as well. Talk about a decisive victory for Turkey. This was a victory across the board for Erdogan. He made Europe look absolutely silly. And now it's even getting worse. Now it's getting worse because the European Union has called upon Mario Draghi to be the one to defend von der Leyen. And he's making it look like von der Leyen's the victim. From what I understand, she has not run for public office or won an election. I don't know. At least, I'm not a fan of Erdogan. God knows I'm not a fan of Erdogan. That's for sure. But at least the guy's run for office. He's won elections at multiple levels. Okay, maybe the recent elections, you may not call them elections, but before that, I believe he was the mayor of Istanbul. I believe he did have that position. He did run for I believe back then it was prime minister, was it not? Before Turkey became a presidential system. Anyway, he did win the election there to lead Turkey as well. Okay, recently he has taken the form of a dictator, in my opinion, but he does have a very popular support base still, even to this day. He does have a large support. He is accountable to a certain degree to a large population of voter. At least he did that. These people, what have they done? What have they built? What have they run for? And now she's the victim. So she's playing the victim card. Mario Draghi, a person who's a Goldman Sachs guy, a guy that was given the position at the ECB, is now also saying that von der Leyen is the victim. He's pulling out the victim card. It's absolutely ridiculous. Mario Draghi is calling Erdogan a dictator. Jeez, it's just cloud world. Erdogan is a dictator. I mean, he is a dictator, but you couldn't have gotten someone better. That's the problem. Europe doesn't have anyone better. They don't have anyone. Who are they going to call on? Christine Lagarde? A convicted criminal? Lagarde, who currently runs the ECB now, who was running the IMF, along with Draghi, that put all the austerity on all the European countries and robbed all the people of their money. How many people killed themselves in Southern Europe or those countries that were put under austerity because of the actions that Draghi and Lagarde committed during that time 5-10 years ago, during their austerity drive along with Merkel. Those three terrors, Merkel, Lagarde at the IMF, and Draghi at the ECB. Now Lagarde is at the ECB after she was convicted in France of crimes. Now she's given the job at the ECB. So a criminal is running the European Central Bank. Draghi, who was at the ECB and committed all kinds of financial atrocities while at the ECB, is now the Prime Minister of Italy, not by election, by appointment. Not democratic whatsoever. Not a democratic process. He was given that position. And he's going to be the one that calls Erdogan a dictator. Clown world. In response, this is what Zero Hedge says. In response to this incident, former Goldman partner, ECB head, and current Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi told reporters on Thursday that I absolutely do not agree with Erdogan's behavior towards President von der Leyen. I think it was not appropriate behavior, and I was very sorry for the humiliation von der Leyen had to suffer. Poor Ursula von der Leyen. Poor Ursula von der Leyen had to sit on the sofa. She's going to go back to Brussels, back to the EU headquarters, and she's going to get her 6-figure salary for doing nothing. For doing nothing. All these people at the EU, let's face it, folks, all these bureaucrats and technocrats in Europe, they get paid tons of money to do nothing. They don't do anything. They create regulations and they find ways to financially engineer things so that the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And they take their orders from the globalists. So poor Ursula von der Leyen, she's the victim. So Draghi then said, with these dictators, this is what he said, with these dictators, let's call them what they are, who however are needed, these dictators who however are needed, one must be honest in expressing one's diverging ideas and views about society. Listen to that statement. Let's call them what they are. Who, however, are needed. Draghi says these dictators are needed. One must be honest in expressing one's diverging ideas and views about society. We must love to know, this is what Zero Hedge says, we must love to know more about what Draghi meant by dictators who are needed exactly, and who Europe treats them compared to dictators who are unneeded, like perhaps having Europe's unelected money-printing dictators pushing their bond yields to double digits overnight. But we digress. Predictably, Turkey was furious with the Italian minister for calling Erdogan a dictator, and Turkey's foreign minister on Thursday summoned the Italian ambassador to Ankara to condemn the remarks. According to a foreign ministry statement, the ambassador was told that Draghi's remarks were against the spirit of the Turkey-Italy alliance. The ministry said Draghi should immediately take back his impudent and ugly remarks. Foreign Minister Cavusoglu also slammed the remarks in a tweet. Quote, this is what Cavusoglu said, quote, we strongly condemn the appointed Italian Prime Minister Draghi's unacceptable populist discourse and his ugly and unrestrained comments about our elected president, he wrote on Twitter. So that's what the foreign minister of Turkey said. That is what he said. It's so easy. It's so easy for Turkey to make fun of these guys, to embarrass these guys. It's just so easy. We strongly condemn the appointment. We strongly condemn the appointed Italian Prime Minister who made remarks about our elected president. Checkmate. Checkmate from Turkey. Checkmate from Turkey. Checkmate from Zero Hedge. Great comment from Zero Hedge. Draghi, who's a financial vampire, basically admits that some dictators are needed, but others are not needed. And those are the ones that, you have regime change and color revolutions. But the ones that are needed, they're going to give money to. And, they're going to give money to Erdogan. Billions upon billions upon billions. So Erdogan doesn't care. Might as well make a fool of them as well. Not only is he going to get the money, he's also going to embarrass them. What a player. Love Erdogan or hate Erdogan, the guy's a player, man. I mean, he's an operator. Unbelievable. Remember when Erdogan went to Russia, though, to meet with Putin? That one time that Putin had him waiting outside his office for 1 hour. And in his office, he had like a statue, like a small statue of commemorating the Russian victory over the Ottomans. That was in this case, Erdogan's the player. When he went to Russia, he was getting played. And Putin put him in his place. So, I mean, it's all, it just goes to show it's all relative. One day you're the player, the other day you're getting played. In this instance, man, Turkey completely played the EU, and they're going to continue to play the EU. And Angela Merkel's going to give the approval to send more money to Erdogan in order to keep the 3 million migrants in place. But there you have it, guys. Look, that's the video. That's what's going on there. It just goes to show how bankrupt and corrupt the European Union is when they don't have anyone better to make comments about what Erdogan did to von der Leyen, about how he embarrassed von der Leyen, other than Mario Draghi. That's the best the European Union has. That's the most moral person that they have, is Mario Draghi. And it was well said by the Turkish foreign minister. The unelected prime minister of Italy, who's going to say unacceptable things about our elected leader. And like I said, not a fan of Erdogan, but look, at least the guy has stood in elections in the past, fair elections in the past. Now, I agree, maybe recently not so fair, but in the past, he has run for various positions, various elected positions and won. At least he did that. At least he went in front of the people and ran, which is more than I can say for von der Leyen, Michel, or Draghi. These guys who have done nothing and were handed these positions of power. And now they're the victims. Now van der Leyen's the victim. Look, van der Leyen, if you felt like Erdogan was being rude, you didn't have to sit down. And Michel should have supported you. If anything, this looks worse for this Michel guy. It looks worse for him. What you guys should have done if you were trained diplomats, and knew what you were doing, which goes to show you guys don't know what the hell you're doing. If you knew what you were doing, you would have said politely to the Turkish delegation, look, two things you could have said. Look, can we perhaps get another chair? Michel would not have sat down. Both of you guys would have stood there and you would have said, excuse me, Mr. President, could we perhaps get another chair? Option number one. Or option number two, you would have said, you guys obviously are not ready for this conference, for this media briefing. We're going to go back to the hotel and just give us a call when you're ready and you have the proper setup. That's what they would have said. Basic stuff. These are the people running Europe. And they have no idea about protocol. Zero. And they're going to run Europe? People, wake up. People in Europe, wake up. How can we support these guys? Oh my God. Anyway, that's my video, guys. Look, Erdogan, man, gotta hand it to him. He's gonna get the money, and he completely exposed these bozos. What can you say? Anyway, all right, that's the video. Go to the Duran shop, guys. Pick up a mug, pick up a hoodie. What else? Go to Alexander's channel, link down below. Go to the Duran's channel, link down below. All those great channels. We put up a lot of videos, a lot of content, guys. And help out this channel. My channel's been demonetized. And share this video, guys. Like this video. Please like this video. Take care.